Hello, it's Amy from amyparkerart.com and founder of Creative Warriors Membership, where I teach you how to make money with your art. I am so excited right now because I'm with my friend Casey, who you are going to love. So, Casey, can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do?
Hi, Amy. I'm so happy to be here with you. It's been wonderful talking with you and getting to know you over, the last several weeks. So thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad that you're here.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, we have quite a bit going on. We have a studio. We have a brick and mortar. We're about 45 minutes north of Pittsburgh. We have a fairly large studio where we have 25 instructors now. And we went from working out of my home 5 years ago to a 13,000 square foot building. And we teach painting classes every day. We have paint your own pottery. We have wood signs. We do glass etching. We do mosaics. We do all of that.
Wow.
And we work with the surrounding schools. We work with cancer treatment centers. We work with UPMC for art therapy. We work with IU departments. You name it. We're doing it. We're busy. All the schools come in for field trips. So it's been quite busy over the last 5 years.
Casey, this is amazing. Did I hear you correctly that you created this? This is your brick and mortar studio. You have 25 instructors that work for you there. And you did all of this with all these things with the schools coming in and stuff like that in 5 years.
Yes.
Wow. Yes. Let's give her a round of applause.
You're so nice. You're so nice. Well, how this all happened, I'll make this short, is I went to school for the arts 30 some years ago. I shouldn't say how long. And so I didn't do anything with it. I had another business, and my son ended up battling an illness, and he was 7 years old and he had masses all through his spine. And so,
I am sorry to hear that. That's so tough.
Oh, it was tough. It was a 4-year process.
Wow.
He was the second person in the world to have what he had, and it was ugly.
Oh my gosh.
He's a miracle. He has metal all through his back and everything, but he's a miracle. He's fantastic. You'd never
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah. So believe me, every day,
Wow.
It's such a blessing. I'm so grateful for every moment. I am. And then, so what happened was his last year of his illness, I said to one of my friends, I'm kind of losing my mind. Like, what do I do? We're either at the hospital, we have 4 spinal surgeries, all these treatments, or we're at home healthcare. And she's like, why don't you start sketching or painting again to relieve your stress? So I started, I used to do portraits. So I started drawing people's children to thank them for helping us. And when my son started getting better, one of my friends who teaches at a local Christian academy, she asked me to come in and teach her kids. So because I was posting all these portraits on Facebook, just because, I was just sharing them.
Yeah.
And so she asked me to come in and teach at the school. So I went and taught at the school, and I put all the pictures on Facebook. Well, all these schools started asking me to come in. And then I had some parents ask me to teach their children out of my house. So within a month, we had a wait list of almost, I think it was 40 kids that I couldn't get in my house. And so then we leased space at a church that used to have a school in it, and it was empty. And we went there next. And then we started traveling. We went on the road 70 days in a row. And we were double and triple booked so many days. We were so tired.
Oh my gosh.
So then we went and looked for other space because I need to settle down because I'm old.
So let me see if I can get this right. Year. So you are traveling around and you're going to schools because you are teaching them portrait drawings, or you're teaching them painting?
Canvas painting.
Canvas painting. Okay.
Yeah, from little up. It was all basically preschool, elementary ed. But when we started traveling, we started going to restaurants and wineries, and so all that came into play, and we were just gone constantly. And so finally we found another space that had a restaurant above it, and it had a very large space that we can use above it for big classes. And during this time, that church had a gathering space that they leased out for weddings. And for $100, we could use that room. Well, we started teaching 100 people at a time.
Wow.
And it just went crazy. And then when we got the other space, they had a space upstairs that was also, it was called the terrace room. It still is, that we would teach all our big classes. And then we had an 1,800 square foot space. We would squeeze 80 to 90 people in. It was crazy.
Oh my goodness.
And that's when we added the pottery. So that was 3 years ago. We added that. And then during COVID, we needed somewhere, we had to shut down because we had to space out either the pottery side or the painting side to have everybody in there. So I went to this building, it was up for sale, and it was this place, they had retired. They had been in business for 50 years, very busy place. And I said, can I lease your space while this is going on with COVID? I need to have my painting classes somewhere. This is very big. Never thinking that we'd, end up, with the building. And so, and we doubled during COVID. We pivoted.
Wow.
We did a lot of art kits. We did a lot of take-home kits. And then once we slowly opened up, we started filling up again, and we were in this large space. And then before you knew it, I sublet the other space, and this is our building. And so we're here for good. And that's our story in a nutshell.
Wow. It's an amazing story. It really is. I'm a caregiver for someone in my family as well, so I connect with you that way. And that's one of my biggest whys. I think, I mean, what your whys are. I don't, but I would just kind of be willing to guess that it's like, your kids really, as a mother, like, we want to really help out, and we want to have something to give. And having the entrepreneurial mind and spirit, just naturally, I try and do what I can online. Hence the reason why I have a membership, and why I've sold my paintings to my collector base and things like that. And so, yeah, that's a very inspiring story. Casey, thank you so much for sharing it. So you do your, you have this amazing brick and mortar studio, and you also do online stuff as well.
Yes. So we have that whole side of things. Yes, I didn't even go into that. So last August, we finally launched our online membership. We wanted to do a little bit sooner than that. We were prepared a little earlier, but I also was a caregiver for my uncle who had Down syndrome and Alzheimer's, and he went on hospice last year, and he passed away at Christmas. And so we pushed it back. Thank you. We pushed that back. And so we started in August, and our membership now, 8 months later, we have almost a couple hundred people in the membership, and we license our paintings to our HQ members, our headquarters members. And I teach them, everyone is video recorded. They have a vault. I also work with them in a private group. I teach them how to teach my paintings in their businesses. And then we also have at-home painters too. So we're busy with that. And so we also have a full series of trainings too on how to build your business, how we went from ground zero to now.
Yep.
And how that all came together. And so we've done quite a bit this last year.
Yeah.
And last year we had 15 girls. We went from 15 to 25 from the last year. And so we're busy, and I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them. Our whole studio is about, we were just talking about this, you and I, about it's the feeling you get when you're in our studio, and our membership is like that. There's kindness. We lift each other up. It's not just all about the painting,
Right.
But
right.
When we teach, I do things a little bit differently than some people. I try to teach paintings that look very difficult or look difficult. They're a little bit more, pieces to them, a little bit more steps, but I break it down very simply. So even a brand new painter, never held a paintbrush before, can create the painting, take it home, love it, hang it on their wall. And so I try to break things down very simply for people, while doing that, creating a very uplifting environment too. That's just as important to me as anything. So all of our staff, I won't have anybody in there that's not like that, that isn't welcoming. Doesn't make people feel
good for you.
Good there. Yeah.
This is what I hear from my own members in my Creative Warriors membership is the biggest thing, they all tell me is the community aspect. Yes, we are all artists and we're all creative, but you're right there, and you kind of hit the nail on the head with being in a community of artists is just very inspiring. It totally is more than just the painting.
It is. It's more than the painting,
really is.
Sure.
Yeah. And that painting, you and I talked a bit a little while ago as well, and you were saying how your painting has like kind of like a can't remember your exact wording, but a process and different ways that you can take that painting. And I teach sort of that in my own membership as well, because one painting can be sold as a one-off. They can recreate it for their collector base. They can do a class with it and make money that way. And I'm curious if you can refresh my brain and tell us again about the steps that your painting kind of goes through as well.
So every painting that I've taught, and I don't know how many, Lindsay and I said we were going to have to count them. I think we have 400 or 500 paintings in the studio at this point on the walls. And so we've taught every one of them. And there's always a process. I actually tell our painters, like, trust me, trust the process, because I'll get you there within these steps. You might not be able to see it right away, but we'll get you there. But with each painting, there's new techniques for them to learn. So after you've painted with us for a while, we hear this all the time. Our painters will be like, oh, I saw this outside. I saw these trees. I saw these clouds. I know how to paint that now because you taught me. So little by little, they're able to build their own paintings. And
Right.
I
Nice.
love to see that. And that's all from learning. Like, there's certain techniques, like there's easy techniques to make a basket. There's easy techniques and certain brushes to make clouds. We did 10 days of tutorials online last month. And so like one day would be 3 or 4 different ways to make clouds with different brushes, different ways to do that. So they're learning all these new tools that they can use while they're teaching that make things so much easier. You know how Bob Ross
Right.
had little tricks to everything?
Yeah.
Not that I'm like Bob Ross.
Who doesn't love Bob Ross? I mean, I'm a big Bob Ross fan.
He's all through our studio and he's very into. We actually went to where he filmed last year.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, Indianapolis. But people bring me Bob Ross stuff all the time because I do teach his paintings here and there. But the same thing with acrylics. There's little tiny things that you can do to make things so easy, or a tool that can make things easier. And it's the way you build the painting. So, and we do boot camps in order to show people stuff like that. So we have beginners boot camps. And I love when someone says, I've learned more in 5 minutes here than I have, in painting for a very long time.
Wonderful.
And so we try to teach people very simple things that they can do, and about your pressure and how to use your paint and things like that. So
yeah, and I think a lot of people, especially if they're beginners, you start something, it's like, oh, this looks horrible. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. They don't understand. I want to just throw it away. I want to paint over it. But you're totally right. You got to trust the process, because as you put that other layer on, as you put that other stroke in here, and you do this and you do that, then it's like magic. It just kind of starts coming together, and bam, you got a gorgeous painting like those butterflies behind you.
Yes, thank you. That's the next boot camp.
Nice. Nice. It's beautiful. Do you have another one like down by your feet or anything that you might be able to pull up and show us, like a close up?
I have something that's really special to me back here. I'll grab it.
Okay.
Because I'm actually filming this today. So that's why I'm here. Sometimes we film with the crew in the studio, and sometimes we film at my desk. Our members told me they like it at my desk, that it's up close so you can see every little detail. So I've been filming here a lot. So this is
very nice.
Thank you. This is the painting. It wasn't meant for a class. I created this the day Mark passed away.
Oh, yeah.
And it was my way of feeling better. And this is what I just created. Well, then
it's beautiful.
Thank you. One of our painters, I wasn't going to teach it because it was personal. And so I found it was personal to other people because I shared it. And I started being asked to teach it at the studio we had one of our painters, her mom was on hospice and she passed away, and she had her whole family come in and paint this. And we had this multiple times already. So our membership is asking me for this. So today
I'm literally getting chills just by you telling this story, because I know exactly what you mean about painting something that's so personal, and sometimes you don't even want to show it.
Yeah.
But where you stepped outside of your box with this one, and like I said, I'm getting chills because you are going to help, and you already have, you're going to help so many people with that angel design, because so many people can connect with that. I mean, we all live on earth in the circle of life. There's some time in your life you're gonna really love to create that for yourself, and it will be a special memory, for your people as well.
We had another angel painting last year as well, and it was so personal to people. In every class I taught, I had goosebumps, like looking. And so we teach them how to change the hair also to reference their loved one.
Right.
It's really something to see. The other one that we have, and so our studio page is KCK Creations. We have upwards of 60,000 photos of our painters on there.
Nice.
It's crazy, but you can see them on there. And these angel paintings come out incredibly beautiful. Like I'm telling you, I almost started crying the last
It's
couple
amazing how,
classes.
and so sweet of you to tell them that they can customize it. You know, they can change the hair color for their loved one or
Yeah.
whatever it means to them. They can put their own little spin on it. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. It was
Of course.
beautiful.
Of course.
Um,
Thank you.
and your butterfly. I can't stop staring
Oh,
at the
thank you.
butterflies. I just love that one as
Well, you know
well.
what's so funny is I created another one for the membership that's just a single 12 by 16 for them to paint at home or teach in their classes, because we have at-home painters too. But then I thought, how nice would it be to have a workshop to teach them all different ways to make butterflies and
Yeah.
all different ways. So it's a 3-day, and so it's an hour each day. And one day it'll be building the background in the grass. The next day it'll be creating impressionistic flowers and daisies. And then the third day is going to be all about creating butterflies. So they'll learn like
Perfect.
3 different sets
Yeah, I
of,
love how you break that
tools.
down. You put it into chunks for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it'll be
Yeah.
fun. At our workshops, we give away prizes the whole time, and everybody's talking, and it's just so much fun. Some of my team from the studio, we're together, and it's just
Casey, is this going to be in your studio or is it going to be streamed online for your workshop for
so
this?
this is going to be in a private group. So it
Okay.
is it's available for $10 for the 3-day, and then all of our members get it for free in the HQ. But and then they can opt into, we send them the link for the private group after they purchase it.
Yeah.
And so we have it.
Nice.
Our boot camps are fun. They're a lot of fun. Thank you
Nice.
for asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Awesome.
on I'm trying to think, what's the dates? I need my glasses anymore. Are you like that anymore? Like
Oh,
I have to
yes. Why I have my glasses on now? I don't even know why I put
yeah.
makeup on. You can't even see my eyeballs. Okay, here, look. Everybody look at my eyes. I put makeup on for you
Oh, it looks so
today.
pretty. Listen, I was telling Amy, this hair is so crazy. So I had my hair cut yesterday and some highlights for summer. And she was like, use a diffuser, like embrace your curls. And it
I
was like
love
this
it.
thing.
It's gorgeous. It's the 7th today, by the way, Casey, and I actually had to just look out on my phone because I'm like you. There's so much going on. It's like I forget what day it is sometimes.
Yeah. Well, this is on the 18th, 19th, and 20th, the butterflies. So tell me a little bit, because I want our people to know about your membership because it's opening up soon, correct?
Yes, yes. So we just had our first birthday. So my membership is called Creative Warriors. And just a quick backstory is, I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I've had brick and mortars. I owned a hair salon. I owned a cleaning company, but I've always been artsy crafty. And finally, one day I'm like, what the heck am I doing all this other stuff for? I mean, I really want to paint. That's like my passion. And portrait drawings as well. I've done tons of those. My true passion is painting. Um, but anyway, so I made a decision to close down my hair salon after 6 years because I started putting a few things online, and I was kind of going crazy with it. People were just like you. Like I just drew my dog one day, put it on there for the heck of it because I felt like drawing. And then all of a sudden, I get up the next day, I have 5 orders. And I'm like, okay, I'm running the salon. I have my employees. I have my customer. I don't have time to do all this, but that's what I want to do. And so little things like that would pop up throughout my life. Like, why am I running a cleaning company when I really want to be an online artist? I don't have an art degree. I don't have a business degree, but I learned marketing and I learned how to create. And basically, I just kind of went all in and started selling online. And I did this organically, gained 700 art collectors in a short period of time. And they bought my paintings left and right. They still buy my paintings today, although I spend most of my energy inside of my Creative Warriors membership, where I teach artists like me that are like, I don't know, can I do this? Like, we all hear the starving artist syndrome for so long. And I'm like, whatever, we only live once, I'm going to give it a shot. So what I did was I recorded everything that worked for me for 3 years to build my collector base, to sell my paintings, to market organically using social media, to do this stuff at home because I really wanted to be at home in my home studio. I didn't want to do the brick and mortars anymore. God bless you. That's a lot of work. I know, for employees, overhead, all that stuff. And you're rocking it, Casey. But for me, I kind of wanted to move away from that and not do the arts and crafts shows in person as much, or my art association shows and things like that. Yes, once in a while, that's okay. But I had success online. No, I'm not a millionaire. I didn't make a ton of money, but I made enough to pay my mortgage and bills every single month for 3 years straight, every month. So it's like,
And
to
you're doing what you
me,
love.
yeah, to me, that is success, because it's like, hey, I don't have to do something else that I'm not totally in love with. I can create and paint what I want and make money at it and make my collectors happy because they're getting a gorgeous, beautiful painting that they love. So I took all that information and packed it into my Creative Warriors membership. I created that content of what I did that works. And that's basically what I teach them. It's an ongoing process. It's not like you're going to decide, okay, I'm going to sell online and now everything is peachy keen. And way back when I had this mind shift of I want to do this online, hey, I'm old school typer. I never took typing class in school. I'm way back. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, am I going to be techie enough? Now I am pretty techie, but in the beginning, I did not have those tech skills. So that's another thing that I teach my members as well, in a step-by-step process, because we have to know that we have to have the business mindset. We have the creating down. We always can be improving and working on that, of course. But I think as an artist, what I've found is most artists, they want to create, and then here, can you do this? Can you sell this for me? Can you help me out? And I'm teaching them how to have that business mindset, how you can do this on your own so that you can start marketing your own pieces. And basically, maybe I talked a little too long because I kind of go on spiel, a tangent like that.
I'm glad
But
you
that's kind of what I teach in my membership. So yes, we are, depending on when you see this video, Creative Warriors may or may not be open, but I should have a link around here.
Same thing with that boot camp.
Yes, it may. She may have a boot camp, she may not, but if not, it will be coming up again, I'm sure.
Right.
So all you have to do, if anyone has a question for myself or Casey, just go ahead and put it in, and we will come back in and help you out with that. Casey, though, before we have to leave our time together today, I know that there's something about you and what you do that I think may help my audience who wants to make money with their art. And you were talking to me about art kits as well. Can you give them like a little glimmer of like what that is and what they would do to make money with an art kit?
Oh, sure. So we've always, since we started, let our customers pick up kits, at our studio that are local. You can also ship them as well. And so what we include in that is we have our classes videotaped, of course. So there's a link to the video. So we do that. We use something called Searchy. I don't know if you're familiar with Searchy.
I am, yeah.
Okay,
I don't know if my audience is, but I know
So
what you're talking
I
about.
mentioned it. They start doing videos a lot. It is very helpful to store all of your information, use the embedded links from there. So they're not shareable, it's just to that person. And so we give them the link for that. And then in the kit they get, so if it's canvas or pottery, we do both take home kits, and then you can ship them too. But we do the canvas in there, the paints, take home brushes, but I give them a link for the brushes that would be in the sets as well. So they get a link back when they purchase, because we don't, supply all those brushes. Even locally, you just won't get them back. People forget,
Right.
So we give them a link for that. And that's about it. They get a little bit, a reference as well. And so that's about all. But we do like all of our classes that I do. So when I create a painting, I create probably 8 to 10 paintings a month. And so they all have like triple, what's the word I'm looking for? Uses. So like 3 uses. So we use it to teach in our studio. We use it to teach online in our membership. And then we also use that for take home kits too. So there's 3 purposes. I almost said dual, but it's triple, like it's 3. There's 3 purposes to every single thing that I create.
Very smart to diversify that. One painting that can do all of those things.
All of that. Yeah. So, it's good because, I think down the road, we won't have to create as much. I've created a lot over the years, but this past year is the year that we started filming everything. So we're
Yeah.
building that up. I think we have, at the point that we're filming this, we have upwards of 80 filmed right now. And then, so now every single thing I create, we do film moving
Nice.
forward. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we do that as well. But the take-home kits online too, just want to make sure, like you can go to Uline, or Amazon has boxes as well. You can figure out like what size you're sending, and there's small containers for like paint, so you don't have to do too much paint. So they're like little hard containers like this.
Oh, well, does that have a screw-on cap to that one?
Yep, screw-on cap,
Yeah.
so it doesn't, like in the studio for those take-home kits, we use 1 ounce and 2 ounce, like those little Jello, like they're like little plastic containers.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
use for salad dressing and stuff at restaurants. We use that, but when you ship, through the mail, it's
Yeah.
gotta be hard. My
Yeah.
husband works for the post office. Things get crushed all the time. He always
So
says that.
then that's good to know your husband works for the post office. So what do you say, like when you go, and mostly I, print all my labels, everything online, but if someone goes to the post office and they're like, anything liquid in here, liquid, perishable, whatever.
Yeah.
So what do you say about the liquid part with your paint? To ship kits? Do you even mention it? Or you're like,
Actually, no. Is that bad?
because it's so minute
It's
and
so little.
and it's not toxic and
Yeah, it's definitely non-toxic. So no, we haven't
Yeah.
explained that bad.
I think they probably asked that just because they don't want it leaking out. So as long as you have that container and maybe put in a baggie as well, double protect or something like that.
Yeah,
But
so yeah, it's pretty secure in this because this is very hard. So that's
Yeah.
why we're going to start shipping nationally this year. So
Nice.
we're rolling that out. We have some other things that your group can look at too. Like they can do workshops as well with their paintings. We do 5 summer camps every summer as well, with children, and they're actual classes. Like they're not just doing crafts.
Yeah.
They're actually like they're paintings and they're creating artwork. And then we have a big art show at the end of the week. We teach them how to set up an art show. We have the art show, and it's a big art show.
Nice.
Like we'll have 150 people at each one. And so we do things like that, but there's always ways to branch out with your art. It's shocking. And
Yeah.
then once you're out there too, people are continuously asking to purchase your pieces
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Even if you're just teaching them in a class,
Yeah.
we have people come in every day. Can I purchase this off the wall? I'm like, no, because we keep them. So what I do is when I retire painting, I used to give away 60 paintings a year, and we'd have this big, huge event, and we'd call it a family day, and we let them draw for paintings. And the next person would get to go and pick one. I'd rather give them away than sell them. And so we would do things like that. But there's all types of events you can do to spread the word. But I think that key for us growing so fast was posting everything online.
Yeah.
Posted everything on Facebook that we did, and it got shared and shared and shared. And when I worked with the schools, parents love to share their children's work. And so it just continued to go.
That's what I teach my members too. It's like, there's power in online and social media, and that's what I teach them. And it's like, you can't just put a posting or 2 up and think, oh, nothing happened. I guess I'm not very good at this. That's not the case. Like you got to just keep going, keep doing it. And I really love your story so much, Casey, because this kind of happened by accident. Yes, you're an artist and you have this, skill and talent in feel your work, right? But just because you started to create for your own sanity and your own health benefits, like all this magic happened. And I think we all need to remember, as artists, like, why are we creating? Like, we're creating mostly because it's within us and it's something that we love and we're inspired to do. So thanks for sharing. Thanks for hanging out with me. I think you're amazing.
I think you're amazing.
Oh, Casey, can you tell everyone where they can go to find you, or maybe take a workshop, or, if they're so interested in doing so?
Sure. So we have 2 Facebook pages. We have the one where it's online, it's virtual, and we have our memberships there, and our store is on there as well. Like our virtual, tutorials are on there also, and that's kchq.com. So you can go to that. Well, I'm sorry, on Facebook, it's KCK HQ. on our website is kckhq.com. And then we have our studio page. And so that is KCK Creations. The studio page is Creations. The online is HQ.
Okay, awesome. Yay.
Thank you.
And once
Thank
again,
you.
if you all have any questions for either one of us, just go ahead and put it in and we will come back and help you rate out. I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for those of you who watched this hangout with Casey and I. I had a really good time and I hope that you did too. So say bye to Casey, everyone.
Bye. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. You have a
You're
great day.
welcome. Thanks for being here, Casey.